Welcome back to the channel. We are here June 27th, and this is going to be the breakdown for the showdown slate on Monday, June 28th. Western Conference Finals. We have an opportunity. Well, the Phoenix Suns have an opportunity to shut it out, put it to a close. Chris Paul can finally get to the NBA Finals. This will be a huge, huge accomplishment for his career. And now this is the opportunity that he has. Obviously, Tyronn Lue has very good records in elimination games. When he's down, and even when he's close to that closing game, when he has that third win, he is very good. Obviously, that's from the LeBron days. But this is a situation where you do not want to leave the door open for the LA Clippers. I don't. Well, Kawhi Leonard's not going to come back for the series at all. They keep testing the knee, and obviously it's an ACL injury, and that's going to take time. So there's no way Kawhi Leonard comes back, but you do not want to give the Clippers hope. And the type of history Chris Paul has with 3-1 leads is not good, so he wants to put in the bed. I'm all in on Phoenix for tomorrow, just to give you a snippet of what this video is going to be like. All right, I just gave you what's going to happen. So let's hop into this DraftKings slate that we got going on here. My favorite play, other than Chris Paul, I love Chris Paul, but what I've seen out of Devin Booker, once he took that mask off, he was able to knock down that jumper in the second half of that ball game against the Clippers. That mask was affecting his vision, and obviously it was annoying. He took it off and he stepped it up. He wasn't able to make a three, but I did see improvements, him being more aggressive, knocking down a mid-range jumper, which that's his bread and butter right there. He works from the inside out. He'll get cooking from the inside, then he'll kill you with the three later in the game, or gradually throughout the game. So Devin Booker at that captain spot at 6,500 is definitely someone you want to look forward to. As you can see, 8 for 22, 5 for 21, and 5 for 16, struggling 3 games in a row. That explosion game is going to come. He did it somewhere near in that Clippers series. No, at the beginning of the Clippers series. He did it at the end of the Denver series, and he did it at the end of the LA Lakers series, where the Lakers series he had 71 DK. At the end of the Denver Nuggets series, he had 56 DK. So that trend is looking like it's going to follow again. Devin Booker as a closer. He's the closer. He's going to come through in this game, put the nail in the coffin, and propel Phoenix to the NBA Finals. That's my prediction. Other guys that I do like, we do expect a fight from the Clippers, obviously, but some consistency guys that we have been watching the past couple games is Ivica Zubac, just double-double after double-double after double-double. I think he is a staple in every lineup. Throw him in there at the util spot. I'm not sure about the captain spot because I love Booker and Chris Paul. I think they have big narratives for tomorrow. But as a util spot, a fill-in spot, mid-tier guy, I love Ivica Zubac. Ayton is someone that you might need as well, because the rebounding discrepancy and the blocks and the defensive prowess, and he's even putting up points. Both sides of the ball, DeAndre Ayton has been an absolute monster, and he's been paying off in spades. Just the performance he's putting forth, 19 and 22 is absolutely insane in that previous game, to go with 4 blocks and 3 assists. So he's been increasing each and every game. A 61 bomb right there. That was the key in the previous showdown slate, to have him at that captain spot. I've been speaking about him ever since the beginning of the series because of the mismatch. I told you it was a mismatch. I told you double-doubles were going to come, and he's going to continue to do what he's doing, and he even had the value. So keep hammering Ayton, Booker, Paul. This might be one-sided as it gets. I know a lot of people are going to be on that Phoenix side anyway, but if I'm really looking at this series, it's just Phoenix is the better team in every asset. All right, the role players are better. They're finally stepping up, and that was the key in that previous game. Mikal Bridges It was someone to look forward to. He finally stepped up, got you 30 DK if you was able to get to him because his price had dropped down almost 2,000, and he came through with 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 6 points. Jay Crowder still has been struggling, so I don't know if you want to go to that well, but if you can fit in, you got to see who fits in. All right. So we got Devin Booker, we got Chris Paul, we got Paul George. Because you think Paul George is going to show up, like it really gets really expensive. So you're gonna have to get creative for this final game. Maybe a 5-1. I'm all very, very, very heavy on the Phoenix side. Throw in their role players to go with two of their stars, two out of the three that you have to choose. And either bring him back with a Paul George, bring him back with a Reggie Jackson. Those are the guys that are going to be putting up points for the Clippers. And if it's not him, then it's going to be some odd man, which was Ivica Zubac. But that's not really realistic because if it's Ivica Zubac in that 5-1 ratio of the lineup, then what is he hitting threes? Like he would have to. It doesn't comprehend. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So it would have to be a shooter for me. Someone, maybe a cheap guy off the bench, like a Marcus Morris. He gets cooking, and maybe try to keep them close in the game. But I do foresee a one-sided affair in this. Obviously, last but not least, we spoke about Paul George. Next is going to be Chris Paul at 10-6. And this is his dream, man. This is his dream to finally get to the promised land, which is that finals, and he has it right now. There's no more wasting time, no more nothing. Take it. You got the young team to do it. Push them to that next level, and we should see the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals starting tomorrow. Starting tomorrow night, actually. Let's go over to FanDuel and check these prices. Like I said, it gets very expensive. It gets very expensive. Right now, I just got Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and Paul George. That's $87.50 left. That's not even with Chris Paul. You can't afford Chris Paul. It's impossible. So you'd have to switch out some guys, probably take out Ayton or take out Paul George, put in Chris Paul, and then use that remaining salary to get some of these mid-tier guys. A Marcus Morris, a Batum, maybe a Cameron Johnson, some guy in that range that can put up some quick points, get you a solid 20, because the rest of the line is going to be carried from the top. It's going to be very top heavy, but you have to watch the salary. It's super tight on FanDuel, a little more leeway on DraftKings, and let's check the player props for tomorrow I got going. Let me click over to round robin so you see. Now, understand if you want to take the point line just to be safe, give me Phoenix Suns money line. All right, just give me the win. You don't have to. Obviously, the odds are huge. Not huge, but it's a discrepancy from them -6 or just Phoenix Suns money line. Give me the money line. We'll move on from that. We can find some other plus spots. The one plus spot I was looking at is going to be Devin Booker, 30 points and over. Let's just see the past previous games. Like I say, he's been struggling. So I think that game is coming. That 30-point game is coming. He had it in game 1 and game, 7 or 6 against Denver? No, 4. And 4. So his last two 30-point games were, last week, a week and a half ago. So it just takes him to getting warmed up again, and that mask is off, and I saw that jumper fall in, and I think it's going to be tomorrow, and we'll be back at it. So plus 154 on Devin Booker, 30 points and up. If you feel comfortable with 25, then fine, go with that. But the odds are going to be a little bit different. I think you can get to that 30-point plateau and go way over. Chris Paul, 18.5. I had it in the previous video. I'm going back to the well. I think he shows up and puts the ball in. He wants to close out this series. Give me the two motivated guys, and that's Chris Paul and Devin Booker. It's going to be too much for the Clippers to handle. And then the alternate points of Chris Paul was at 15.5. I just decided to do the 18.5. That's instead of the 15. Either or. It's whatever your preference is with the odds. Obviously, 15.5 is way safer That's why it's at a minus 205 because he's been doing that like in his sleep. Chris Paul had 18 in the game before. He had 15, so you would have got wrong on you would have got it wrong on that one. But games before that was 37, 27, 17. That's when he was in his groove, and then he had went away because of the health protocol. But he is back now, and I think that those points are going to be rather easy for him to get. Now, let me know how you feel about the core, man. I think it's obviously one sided. Am I biased? No, I think a lot of people are going to be on this side after watching the series and after watching an embarrassing performance in Game 2, and they gave up that alley oop, which was heartbreaking. And in Game 3, they they beat him up and down. They just destroyed him. So I'm going with the Suns. Let me know how you feel in the comment section about tomorrow's core. I think it's a solid one. We're going to look for the cheap guys. The cheap guys you're going to have to focus on is going to be Cam Johnson. That's one dude that's been very consistent off the bench. Cameron Payne has been very consistent off the bench. Nicholas Batum and Marcus Morris. Those are four guys that you might want to watch out for. If you're already paying up for the Devin Bookings of the world and Paul George and DeAndre Ayton, you need some cheap guys to come through. Those are the four key guys I'm going to key on. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessageSD, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Peace out.